Hey everyone, welcome back to Miss Calibra's virtual art class. I hope everyone's having a great week so far. Alright, so we're going to have some fun drawing some whimsical birds today. Alright, what does it mean of whimsical birds? Well, we are going to be designing our own layered birds where they're kind of they're standing on top of each other with their little flower. Of course, your birds may come in a little different and you'll be using different colors and whatnot, but I'm going to show you guys step by step on how to build up these birds. So we're going to practice. I always think it's better to practice to start with how to draw a bird, and then we'll go through and do our separate birds together to create our final design. I've gone in here and I've actually come up with a step-by-step instruction on how to draw your birds, and you can always pause it here to kind of see how to draw these birds as you guys are working. I'm going to jump over and grab a sheet of paper to do our practice. So with our practice, I'm going to use a marker. Typically you would want to use a pencil just in case you mess up, and that way you can erase, but I'm going to use a marker so you guys can see it. So we're going to start out by doing number 1, where we're going to go in and draw a U. So I'm going to draw this nice and big for you guys to see. So this U is going to be the bottom of our birds, so like the bird's stomach, and I made it a little thicker for you guys to see. So you're going to draw a nice little U. Alright, so then we want to extend up this line to make the neck. So it's going to go up and around. And it kind of looks like a curvy J in a way. So this is the stomach up to the top of the head. Alright, so now we want to go in and fill in the rest of the body. So we're going to go and curve the body back around, extend it outward so it becomes like a tail. Just like that. From there, we want to go and build our tail. So you can go in and add little tail feathers. I'm going to do 3. So they look like little teardrops as you're making them, or little raindrops for the on the end there. If you want to do 4, you can do 4 or 5, you can as well. Alright, after that, we need to go and do our legs. So our birds are going to have really long legs, because remember, our birds will be standing on top of another bird. So you're going to have, it's basically just doing 2 parallel lines, so they're side by side each other. And we're not going to worry about the feet right now. Alright, after that, you need to draw your eye, which is a circle, and a little triangle for your beak. And you can even color in this eye if you want to make it a little dot. And then the last little thing is our wing. So kind of like we did our little tail with the teardrops, we're going to go in and do a nice little kind of curvy teardrop here for the wing. If you want to go in and add feathers, you can. That's just something additional if you want to kind of play around with it. You can even add some feathers, some little wavy lines of feathers on the tails if you want to, but that's not needed. Alright, so this is our practice with our little birds. So on our final design, we're going to have 3 birds. And you're going to notice that you're going to have the biggest one on the bottom, a medium one in the middle, and a small one on the side, on the top. And you could have them facing different directions. They can go to the same direction, however you want to. So let's go ahead and start building up our birds. Alright, so when you're getting your new sheet of paper, it helps to start out by making guidelines. If you feel like you need to fold it and do like a light crease, you could fold it in half vertically, and then you can also fold it in half horizontally, but that's not needed. You don't have to do that. If you don't want to do the fold, you could just take a sheet of paper, grab a roller, just do a nice light line down the middle, and another line horizontal down the middle to kind of give a little separation, so you can kind of break it in half and you know where your birds are going to be. So we're going to start out by having our middle bird. The middle bird, you want to have the bottom of the body against the bottom of our paper. So I'm going to use I'm going to draw really dark with my pencil for you guys to see. So you're going to start with number 1. You're going to do your U. That's the bottom of the stomach of the bird. Extend it upwards for the head. Bring it up and around for the rest of the body. Do your teardrops for your tail. Add your long legs. So your diagonal lines, or parallel lines going back and forth. Triangle for beak. Circle for your eye. And then you're going to do a nice little wing. Alright, I'm not going to add any other details just yet for that one. So we started out with our medium bird. So now we want a bigger bird on the bottom. So we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to start out. So I want my bird to face the opposite direction. So rather than doing the U this way, I'm going to do the U this way. So I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to start with the U, extend my body upwards, go up and around with my tail. So you can see it's nice and big. I'm going to go in and add my tail, 3 little teardrops. So I'm looking here. This bird is a little, it's not quite, because you want your bird to touch the one up here. So this is when you kind of have to play around with it. You may have to go back in and erase. So let's go back in and try this out, because we want to bring our bird to go right underneath our middle bird. Alright, so I'm going to bring my U up a little bit higher. Alright, so there we got our U. Alright, so now I got my head up and around. You got a tail. We're going to go in and do our eye and our beak. And our feet. And then your wing. Alright, so I'm noticing, well, my legs still don't quite touch, so that's why I'm going to go back in and make my legs even longer. So I'm going to have some really long-legged birds this time. And that's okay. Alright, and then we're going to do our final bird. So our final bird, our flower is going to be on the left side. So I'm going to have my bird facing the left. So I'm going to go in, do it kind of like this one. I'm going to do a small U this time, because it's the smallest bird. I'm going to extend that line up. Bring the body up and around. Give it the 3 feathers for the tail, beak, and eye, and my nice long feet. And of course your wing. Alright, so now I have my 3 birds. Alright, so once you have your birds, you need to go in and add your grass. So I'm going to do a nice little wavy line. So you could do a wavy line. So I'm going to do a nice little wavy line. Just like that. If you don't want to do wavy line, you could do zigzag. Like if you really want to go in and do some little grass, make it more zigzag, you could do it that way too. You kind of play around with it as you draw your line. Alright, so we have our grass, and then we want to do our flower. So our flower is nice and tall. You want to make sure it meets up with the bird at the top. So I'm going to do a wavy line going upwards. And I need a second one side by side to make a long stem, just like that. Alright, so now we want to make our flower. So our flower is looking inwards towards the bird. So I'm going to do a circle, and I'm going to do 3 or 4 nice big petals, just like that. So now we have our 3 birds and our flowers. So this is the fun part. You're going to go and grab a black marker or a black pen, and we're going to go and outline all our lines. So take your time, color in that eye. Get all of those lines covered. Try to cover the best you can. Otherwise, you might have to go back in and erase some pencil lines later. So you don't, make sure you're tracing that pencil the best you can. So it takes a couple minutes just to build up the outline. So we're going to do our outline, and then once we're done, we'll get started coloring. So I'm going to do this quickly. When you guys decide to color, you can use crayons or color pencil. You know, if you want to use markers, that's fine. Just keep in mind, you may lose the black outline a little bit. So it's sometimes a little nicer just to use crayons or color pencils. But if you have like pastels or something like that at home, you can use that as well. So kind of play around with it. Chalk. Alright, so I got everything traced, and of course I don't want to forget my grass. And then once you have it drawn, we're going to go and color. So I'm going to use crayons. So of course we need to start with our birds. So our birds' beaks are yellow or orange. So I'm going to grab orange. My beaks, my legs, nice long legs. Color all those in. You can color in your birds. So remember, if you wanted to go back in and do some extra details, maybe you want to go in and do some little feathers on your wings, maybe on your tail. Now is the time to do it before you color. Remember, that's not necessary, just if you want to. Kind of play around with it. And we're going to color our birds. So I want to do my middle bird red. You could choose whatever color you want. So I'm coloring nice and dark. To color in one direction back and forth. Stay in those lines the best you can. You want to color in all the white. You may decide, well, I did all my bird red, so maybe I want to do the wing another color. So maybe I want to play around with it and I want to do a yellow wing instead. So I'm going to come up with a new type of bird, red and yellow. Alright, maybe I want my bottom bird to be, let's see, let's look for purple. Alright, there's a purple. Nice dark purple. Coloring the whole thing in. One direction back and forth. And I just want my wing to be the same color, so I'm just going to color over it as I'm going. Alright, and then my last bird is going to be on top, and I want to do maybe I'll do a gray bird, or a peach. There we go. It's kind of like a peach or cream. Color that in. Alright, you get your birds in, of course, then you want to go in and do our grass. So I'm going to find the green. I'm just going to color the whole thing in. I'm going left to right to give it some detail. Fill it all the way in. If you wanted to go back in and really give it some texture, you can kind of go back in and draw like little grass stalks here. Even if or you can go in and draw some with your marker. So be creative, play around with it. And of course, while I'm using green, I'm going to go in and color my stem. All the way, and then our flower. So my original flower was yellow, but I want to do like a pink flower this time. So I'm going to do pink petals. And I want to do orange on the inside. There we go. And the last but not least is your sky. So remember with your sky, the sky goes from the top to the bottom. It's everything behind your bird. So it's going to be all blue. If you decide you want to do some clouds, maybe you'll go in and draw your clouds first. You can go in and outline them. Maybe you want to do a sun. Maybe you want to do a couple small clouds. You could kind of play around with it. Whatever you want to do, but decide what you want to do for the background. At least, the very least, you want to have the whole thing colored blue. So I'll go in and quickly take my blue crayon, going up and down, get the entire background nice and dark, and fill it in. Try not to scribble scrabble, because remember, if you scribble scrabble, it won't look as great. So I'm just going to keep working around with it and just completely color it in. Of course, when you color, you don't want to paint over, or color over the clouds. Just kind of work around them the best you can. You want to get in between the legs and just build up the entire color. So I'm not going to go in and color this whole thing, just because you guys have kind of the idea. But as you can kind of see, I have two different versions here. So I had my little birds here, and you can see how sometimes the birds might be fatter, sometimes they're thinner. These legs are a little bit longer. That's okay too. I didn't do clouds on this one, but you can if you want. And just kind of have fun with it. I hope you guys enjoy. Please feel free to share your art with me. Send me some pictures. Upload it to Canvas if you like. And I hope you guys have a good time doing this. All right? Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.